It's Monday night. Join us as we rehash the events that have already happened in Week 11 and join in real time as we monitor the final scores to get these games in and look ahead to Week 12. That stuff. And honestly, some of the new designs. The black and the Saints.
Officially given up on Taysom Hill, I'm sorry. Welcome to the Chuck and Dave Pod.
I'm Chuck.
Dun 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 dun. You can't copyright infringement. Get me for copyright infringement. That was a Dave
Not when it's a cappella.
original. Welcome to the Chuck and Dave Pod.
I'm Chuck.
I'm Dave.
And this is the pod, Monday night edition.
Monday night edition.
We should do I don't think I get many Thursday night games, but I should because of Prime. I should get all the Thursday night games. We should do a Thursday night one sometime.
Yeah, we should.
And actually watch the game.
If we notice that there's one where there's like some high profile players playing.
Yeah, well, they don't usually do that on Thursday night games. That would have been last Thursday, the Bengals Ravens game. That would have been
that's true.
High profile one here. Other than Thanksgiving, I guess. I don't know if any of the games Thanksgiving are all that big.
No, I mean you got the Packer game. That's pretty much it. Packers Lions.
Who does Dallas play? Dallas Commanders, I think.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good game, right?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. There's always one random one too. I don't remember.
Although it'd be nice to see that. I could see him winning it all, or Sam Howell somehow making it.
The Commanders getting it on there,
making it interesting.
I'll have to mute the game. 49ers and Seahawks are the Thanksgiving night games. That could be a little juicy. It'll depend. 49ers seem to be back to their ways, so.
This is sensory overload. I'll have to, I'm assuming, mute the game. Yeah, possibly. Just turn it down. Turn it down. I got it muted. Muted, looking at it, watching it right now.
Put on the subtitles.
Yeah, I'm sailing the high seas a little bit with this one, but
you got your VPN going?
Yeah, you know it.
One thing that gets me thinking about VPN is that if you are in a different country and you have NFL Plus, you can actually watch all the games in time.
Really?
And it doesn't have to be on your phone. But if you're in the United States, you can only watch replays or live on your phone. Which is
a nice Jalen Hurts run play.
Hey.
That's going to help you. That's probably basically got 1 point right there.
Let's talk briefly, I guess, about the players we're keeping eyes on during this game. So for the, nincompoops are done. Swift and Brown are scoring points for him.
Yeah.
Still. And the Blue Golds are done, but the Giraffes are getting points from Mahomes, Pacheco, and the Philly defense.
Yep.
And then the Creamers are done, but the Punishers are looking at Butker to get a big leg day in.
Yeah, we're going to be a little behind, but
the Hurricanes are done, and the fantasy team is looking at Kelsey and Hurts to get points. So those are the guys we're keeping an eye on, and anybody else doesn't do anybody any good.
Oh, the problem with sometimes sailing the high seas is my VPN stops me and basically says this spot will give you a virus.
That's pretty courteous of it, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty courteous. I'm trying to find.
Watch in real time as Dave gets a virus.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing the FBI raid you in real time.
Just wish I could show you my. Yeah, I wish I could.
The guy with an earpiece and his NFL Hall of Fame jacket comes in. He's like, "I'm going to ask you to come for me."
We've detected malicious code on this webpage and blocked it for your security. Well, thanks, NordVPN, but I don't need your security.
You tell them.
But yeah, so we'll be checking in from time to time as we talk through the week. Nice background. I'd go Butker. Boom, baby.
Boom. You know what? It's like any big moment. The kicker sometimes is the last one standing between victory and defeat.
I mean, I don't think you get any bonuses for like a game-winning field goal, which would be sweet. But
It's your game-winning field goal.
oh, you like Brett? That's from Throwback Week. It says far and away.
It still is Throwback Week until tomorrow.
Technically is Throwback Week.
And in some fringes of our league, it's still Star Wars Week.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of Star Wars Week.
Well, week 11 so far has it's been, well, I mean, there was a lot of stuff in between.
Yeah.
That I'm sure we'll get to, but what do you want to do first? Talk about the games, or?
Yeah, we can talk about the games.
And then we'll check in on the scores here in between or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's one that is fully finished, not going to change. That would be the Miami Fire Ants scoring 74. Poops have currently came into this night with 96, and they'll score whatever Swift and Brown get on top. So it's possible perhaps he should have pulled the Dave route and benched them to make sure they didn't lose 22 points.
Yeah.
That's not probable, though. But yeah, the Fire Ants, it's their second game of scoring under 75 in the last 3 weeks, I think, or 2 weeks. In the last 2 weeks, they scored 69 last week, 75 this week, and they've only had one game over 110 in the past 5 weeks, and yet they were crickets at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
As they went down.
Could have used a tight end, Joshy boy.
Could have used the tight end. So this will drop them to 5 and 6, which will depend on the results of the Creamers, whether they stay in 5th or drop to 6th in the standings. The Ninnigampops will move to 7 and 4, which will keep them 3rd no matter what for this, but keeps them in sniffing distance of the top seed, even depending on the results of another game going on here.
Yeah.
The Nincompoops have won 7 of the last 8.
Man, dude, he is talk about throwback. The guy who's not even been around. You haven't even heard his voice in 8 weeks.
He had a big voice last week.
Yeah, and we'll get to that.
But yeah, he's been quiet. And look, 7 of 8, and here's his scores. Like he's projected to get like 120 tonight, so that's not bad. But then 101, 120, 112, 89, 94. These are wins, man. These are wins.
Yeah.
So I guess he's getting some luck, but he's putting up enough points.
It's true.
I just got overwhelmed with the trading. Otherwise, I would have tried harder at the deadline. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Honestly, when your team is scoring an average of 130 over like a 4-week stretch, I don't think you need to be too big in the trading market, unless you had a bunch on your bench that you just wanted to shell out for next year's picks or something. But
yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that looking at things here, Sam has only had 1 year in the Yahoo era that he has had less than 10 wins, and that was last year.
He's had less than 10 wins.
Only once in the Yahoo era. But he would need to win out in order to get to 10.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
So, but it's something to keep an eye on. Any thoughts on who people had hooked up for that game?
For that one?
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
What happened to Josh? Let's dissect the Josh
team. Let's dissect this this a tad. It's definitely. No, it looks like he got some pneumonia.
He was hit by buys with no time.
He had quite a bit of buys. Bijan's been kind of hit or miss. And Taylor is a new addition. I think he's just, the guy like Ayuk and Cook, who knew they were going to score as much as they did? He'd be in a lot better place right now if he wouldn't have put
Cook is the one he offered me in the trade. I should have taken it, apparently. problem with almost anybody on the Bills right now, though, is they are so unreliable.
Yeah.
They could anybody on that team could put up a 20 or a 0.
Yep.
And so it's just hard to trust any of them there. But he certainly got some bad luck here. Cup getting 1.5.
Yeah.
Walker, that's got to be the lowest Walker's had all year.
Yeah.
2.7. He has been double digits like every other time.
Yeah.
We got a 2.6 2 weeks ago, I guess. And then, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think he might run into problems with a Kane being back, actually, because now he has to start both of them to get the points.
So, but did we hear anything about his injury? Because he left pretty early.
The injury didn't help, but that should have given more points back to Mostert, but it didn't.
Well, it looks like Swift just scored a touchdown. Just so everybody knows, rushing touchdown. So that does not help you, my friend.
It does not help anybody except Sam, who doesn't really get any help. It looks like the coach, McDaniel, said there's a chance he will play and a chance he won't play next week. So it must not be that bad if there's a chance he could play next week. Even.
Possible.
So.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Ferguson, he picked up Ferguson, I assume, because he didn't want to trade for Kincaid. And then Ferguson put up his first bad score in quite a few weeks.
Yeah. I almost picked him up. I was this close. And then I'm like,
I mean, like I said, last week I debated heavily.
I was so close. Well, you dropped him, didn't you? Somebody dropped
him. Actually, yeah, I picked him up first, and then I dropped him in place of Kincaid.
Yeah.
They both got 11 last week, so it wouldn't have made a difference last week. But.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then Sam's team over here, Allen did well. Ridley getting 25, defense getting 10.
Yeah,
not an amazing amount of points here, but I mean, Swift is up early here. He could end up with a pretty good score.
Yep. Yeah, with Swift being up, and I mean, it depends. If it starts becoming a shootout, Swift is going to start turning into an afterthought, and AJ Brown might catch some. It all depends.
We'll see, right? I mean, it sure is starting out like it's going to be a race here, which would be great for everybody except Alex.
Yeah, that would not be good for Alex.
And Jordan, I guess. Jordan would not like that.
But yeah, Josh just got bit by some bad luck. I mean, he really is set on hoping Miami does well. And if Miami doesn't play very well, he is not going to get a lot of points. Yeah. The guys that were such solid point makers in the beginning of the year have kind of really like tapered off for him. Like Waddle and even Mostert, who were these like huge heavyweight point scorers for multiple games in a row, really haven't done anything for multiple weeks.
A-Chan. I apologize. By a race?
It's I-Chan.
By a race, I mean that it's just going to be one score after another. Whoever can get to the highest score before the bell rings.
Yeah, exactly.
In the best games, nobody loses. They just run out of time.
It's true.
So that's that one there. The Nincompoops keep their hat in the ring.
Yeah. Let's look at the other one that's probably over. Durban Giraffes.
And the New London Blue Golds.
I mean, she has 3 people playing, but that's she has. You're looking at 20. She needs to average 20 more points a person to even come close. So
more on top of which, and honestly, I don't think the Philly defense is gonna. It could possibly give her negative points.
Well, that's the thing. If Mahomes scores 30, most likely Philadelphia isn't going to be scoring. I mean, I always have that. I always am curious. I almost purposely will try not to have that happen where you have like one of your big players and play the same defense. Cause then you almost have either like, well, one's going to do well and the other one's going to suck.
Especially a quarterback.
Especially.
Because that's very dependent on the score. You could have a wide receiver get a touchdown and a couple of receptions and give you a decent points day while still having the defense hold up well against them. Unless you get lucky and the defense gets a bunch of fumble recoveries and sacks or an interception or something, and then the amount of points they give up doesn't really matter as much. But yeah, it's tough to do that. But yeah, she needs to score a crap ton of points. The Blue Golds are done with 113. It was not a great week for them starting on Thursday when Joe Burrow went down, which is also going to definitely affect Jamar Chase.
Yep.
There. You won't really know for at least another week here, but that's tough. Pollard and Gibbs and Bass finally worked out well. And of course, the Dallas
defense
did its thing for him. But that's a rough thing to happen right on playoff time here.
Well, he is part of the one of the trades, so he is going to be getting a high caliber quarterback.
High caliber, you say, huh?
Well, better than I think has the most potential to score a lot of points, but
he has one of the highest ceilings.
He has one of the highest ceilings.
He also has a low floor.
Yes. Most people will say that he's playing the best football of his career right now, but unfortunately it's just not showing in the fantasy line.
That's because what fantasy wants is bad football where he just runs and does everything himself.
Yes. And gets hurt.
No, that's not good for fantasy.
Well, no, but I mean, if you're running a lot, most likely the chances of you getting hurt is higher.
Well, the Blue Golds put up 113. The Giraffes came into this with 39 and a open spot on the bench, which I'm told through Trevor Rappaport was an honest mistake.
Actually, that was me, but yeah, that was combination of the fact that Kara and I were in Kentucky this weekend, and then we're driving home. So with everything that was happening with the trade, I think she assumed that because it was going to trade, it was just going to self-populate her bench or into her lineup, which did not happen and really would not have helped her in any meaningful way. I mean, Debo
would not have been the difference in this game.
She'd be at 60 points instead of 53. So, I mean, she definitely wasn't trying to tank that.
St. Brown would not have made the difference in this game either. She was probably not, even with the Blue Golds having a bad day, she probably wasn't. But, we'll see what happens. The Blue Golds did just enough, moves them up to 6-5, which should keep them in fourth of the seedings so far. The Giraffes will fall to 2-9 and stay eighth.
A comfortable eighth position.
In control of the number one draft spot.
Yep.
They could potentially, in an ideal situation here, they could end up having the first 9th, possibly 10th, 11th, or 12th, and 17th picks.
Yeah.
Either way, 4 in the top 20.
Yeah, it's if you can get if she can get lucky with her auto draft, because we know she will, she should have a very good team to start off next year. But
we'll see how maybe she'll get her championship and retire.
That's possible.
I'd have a hard time walking away after getting a championship.
Yeah, we'll see. I doubt that she'll walk away even if she wins it all. She says she wants to end on a high note, but that taste of glory.
Once you get that high note, you want another high note.
It's tough to give up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was. I mean, that game's pretty much done.
Yeah. So we got 2 games then that are very much riding on Monday night here.
Yeah, let's start with the high profile one with my fantasy team versus Hurricane Force Winds. Oh boy, this is a nail biter.
It really is, and the projection has dropped for fantasy team, still up by 5, and we'll see. I mean, Kelsey's not going to get a 0, I assume.
No.
We'll go. We'll see what happens. And the Eagles are not going to run this whole game on a rushing attack, so it's going to be some some yards. Hopefully not interceptions for me.
Yeah,
but this is definitely good when we have the top 2 seeds playing each other. If right now the Hurricanes came in with 123, fantasy team with 100 plus whatever Hurts and Kelsey put up, which should easily get 23 points, but it is the Kansas City defense has been pretty stout, and it's a big game, so you don't know for sure. I'm sure hoping for it. I would love to have a chance at the number 1 seed here. I gotta say, Derrick Henry, is he benchable at this point?
Man, it's tough, dude. I just saw something. I did see a interesting. I think Yahoo put out an interesting article about like all the players to like when we should start panicking or if we should start panicking, stuff like that. And Lamar was on there, and they like ranked it from 1 to 5, and Derrick Henry was a 2 or a 3 or something like that for panic level.
5 being the worst or the best?
5 being the worst. 1 being like, absolutely, you don't need to panic. Don't worry, he's going through a lull. 2 is like,
Well, I thought with Henry is that the problem is that is it Levis or Levis? I'm gonna say Levis.
Will Levis.
Levis. All right, we'll go with Levis. He's not a good quarterback, so they aren't able to throw, which means the other teams can just sell out and take out the run. And Henry is not a good receiving running back anyway.
Yeah.
So if he can't run, he's not getting stuff. Now they've also played, they played Tampa Bay, who had the 31st best rushing defense, and then Jacksonville here, who even though they're the 18th, Jacksonville just seems to be either like great or not good any week, and they were good this week. But they do have Carolina and then Indianapolis the next 2 weeks, who are very, very green, as Alex would point out.
Yep.
So we will see. At the very least, against the Panthers, it shouldn't turn into a game where they're way behind because the Panthers can't score either.
Sure.
We should keep running in the game. But yeah, he's 2 weeks in a row now has really let me down. Meanwhile, Allen and Nakua did great. Robinson, I'm glad I put him in finally. And Tank Dell really came through for me.
He's becoming a superstar right now. He is.
He really is. He's been several weeks in a row like that. He is. I mean, it's coinciding with Stroud becoming apparently a superstar quarterback now.
It's unfortunate that Tank Dell decided to form the chemistry with CJ Stroud instead of Nico Collins, because that would have been nice to have some chemistry, which he
it sure
obviously
was going to be Collins earlier in the year. It was going to be,
yeah.
But I mean, and then Singletary too has been doing great because Pierce is out, but that's just a tough one there. Run was stuffed. Andrew's injury will hurt a little bit, although I heard today they said they wouldn't rule him out for the whole rest of the year. And I think Laporta will be more than serviceable for him in most situations, starting with the Packers. Although the Packers did well against the Chargers defense or offense.
Sure.
So what do we got going on here? We got to get some points. We'll be keeping a close eye on this one. The Hurricanes really, it's not a bad week, but for them it is.
Yeah. I mean, the Mark Andrews was a big hit. Big hit.
Yeah.
That's going to be a hard one to overcome. He was a big point scorer, a good kind of solid piece to his team, and so I think.
But he also was out earlier in the year, and it didn't seem to make a huge.
Yeah, Laporta definitely is going to be a serviceable backup. So,
but this is the first time in 5 weeks that the Hurricane Force winds have failed to top 125. So that's why 123 is not a bad day at the office, but it feels like a low day for them. But this is a tight game. I'm sure Alex would be giving us any updates.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, do you think he feels a little, do you feel like Justin Fields, with the point chasiness and like how he played against Detroit, do you feel like he's going to put Justin Fields in next week?
I mean, he is a Bears guy too, but against who do they play next week?
I don't know.
It's going to be the matchup, man. It's going to come down to the matchup.
It is going to be the matchup. It is the Minnesota Vikings, and it is like 15th. So it's like right in the middle. It's that weird teeter-totter. Like, it's mid. Is Justin Fields going to, like, go? Which way is he going to go?
That's tough. He only scored 6-4 against them, but I think that's the game he got injured in, so you can't even use the previous.
Because the thing with Dallas is he's going to have to make a decision, by Wednesday if he puts Dallas. Now, Washington, the matchup with Washington is way better. But Dallas also plays really poorly in high-profile games. It just happens.
Well, looks like he might go with Purdy.
Oh boy, interception, man! Jalen Hurts just threw a pick to Snead.
That's terrific. This will be the game Hurts puts up a 4.
Oh man, it's brutal. You're down to 0.16. But right now, Kelsey's on the field, so there's a chance for him to score. So that's the nice thing about having two people on two sides. It's like, if one guy is playing poorly, the other guy has the opportunity to score.
We'll see.
Score well.
We'll see. Let's touch base with our last game here.
Yep.
The other one that is very much riding on this one.
Yep. Now my projections have gone down. I've become an underdog now.
Yeah, but kickers. Kicker either kicks or doesn't kick. You don't.
It is true.
It is what it is. It sucks that you put Wilson back in and he gave you the negative points.
Brutal, man. I know. Could have put Jacoby Myers in. At least I would have gotten 6.5 points. But
yeah. Now I've heard though that Wilson has a much better connection with Boyle.
Yeah, right. We'll see.
Boyle in the offseason, he took the guys to Hawaii. They had some throwing, some bonding.
Yeah.
So I think they're feeling pretty comfortable with that. The end of Zach Wilson for sure.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see Zach Wilson anymore.
Someone will pick him up as a I already commented on the picked up Purdy thing.
Alex, we're seeing your comments. They're just not interesting comments.
I talked about the Purdy thing. He's real into the rain, I guess. He's feeling real confident with the rain.
Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily agree with like rain being the big.
If it's like a deluge, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. As far as I know, like when I was watching it, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, the rain is so much. My internet glitched. Oh, okay. Well. But yeah,
I'm going to tell you what, this game has all the makings of a game where the real points in fantasy are going to be in the second half. Where like how many games you look at in the first half, it's like the player put up 2, 3, 4 points.
Yeah.
And then the second half, they end up with like 20.
Yeah.
And it's because in the first half, they just play careful. They're playing slow. They're taking their time. They're doing their thing. And then the second half, it's like, okay, now we got to really buckle down and do this. And that usually works out pretty good, unless someone's having a collapse, in which case it doesn't. So, yeah, the Kentucky Creamers and the IFD Punishers, which became a very high-profile game on account of the trade that went down this week.
Yep.
We had Austin Eckler popped over to the Creamers in exchange for a conditional third-round pick.
That could become a first if Jordan wins it all.
Now, we knew about this trade for last week's show, right?
No. No, it was definitely the next day because it was Friday. Yep. That trade went down.
Yeah. So Eckler did not end up helping him very much. And in fact, Mixon and Edwards and White all on the bench put up pretty big scores.
Oh, man. Could you imagine? He puts Trevor Lawrence in. Now, granted, do you put Trevor Lawrence in over Tua? Probably not.
I have told you all year that I do not trust Tua. I don't really trust Lawrence. I would not have expected him to put up a 30.
Yeah.
But I think Jacksonville's kind of becoming the kind of team where with a stinker, watch out next week.
I was actually talking to Jordan over this weekend, and I was kind of curious as to why he was going to have Aaron Jones in over Joe Mixon, because we were talking about it, and I was like, it just, I don't know. Like, I don't really trust Aaron Jones. I like him. I'm a Packer fan, but it's like he's not been very strong fantasy-wise this year. So,
yeah. And honestly, looking at his team again,
did you guys see the pick? No, I didn't. We didn't watch it. We're just watching kind of the play-by-play, Alex.
No, we talked about the interception.
We did talk about.
I think that's what he means by the pick.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna be real happy every time something happens that's not good for me.
Yeah,
which is fair.
Mahomes is running a lot. I see,
but
which isn't helping you.
Just looking at the Creamers team, I mean, Eckler is probably more consistent, but he has so many high-end running backs. Did he need to go get one for a third-round pick?
I mean, the thing is it's looking more positive by the day, though, because we don't know if Aaron Jones is even going to play for them.
Even without Aaron Jones, he's got Edwards, who is a little.
Eckler is way more consistent and high profile than.
Look at this. Edwards' last 4 games, 29, 20, 28, 18. All right. Now you look at Eckler's last 5 games. You got 6, 19, 19, 18. It's the same.
Yeah.
You look at Mixon, 19, 12, 16, 18. You know, they're all getting the same kind of thing. Was it worth selling out next year to get not a huge upgrade? I don't know. I don't know if I could say Eckler's trailing off. He had 1 cold game against a tough running defense.
Eckler is not trailing off, Alex. That's the opposite of nonsense.
Chasing. That's point.
He has 1 6-point game against a bad team, with a bad team, and you're saying, oh, he's trailing off. He scored 18 points 2 weeks ago.
I mean,
he's not been trending downward by any means.
Even in his running back room, I would not bench Eckler for any of them, but I'm just saying, I don't know that he had to run out and get Eckler for anything.
I mean, I don't think he ran out and got it. I called him up and asked if he would want to trade with it, because I know that you or Alex weren't going to do anything with me. So
should have gone with Josh, man. He needs a running back.
Josh wasn't traded anything.
Possibly.
I needed a wild card, a guy who's willing to, sell his future a little bit good to
you for getting the 3rd round pick.
Yeah,
who's
had 3 poopy games. Eckler's had 3 poopy games.
First was coming back off the injury.
Alex, look at his last. You're talking about look at his last game.
Look at all those 18, zeros.
19.8, 19.1. That's not poopy games. You're talking about the ones.
Dave,
you're talking about the zeros.
From weeks 2 through 4, he didn't even get a target. It's like he wasn't there.
It's like he wasn't even there. And he's getting old and banged up. Eckler's not that old.
You sound like, honestly, Alex sounds right now probably like the Chargers execs trying to contract negotiate with them. You've had 3 poopy games and you're old and banged up. We're not giving you an extension.
Yeah, he's trying to justify, like, oh, Eckler's not that good. I'm not worried.
I would love to have Eckler on my team. I'm just saying.
Whatever, say whatever you want. He's 28, Eckler. Average running back, like where they start to decline is 30. So you're thinking he probably has at least 2 games that he's probably going to be still okay.
Well, his bad games were what? Against Dallas and Kansas City while coming back after an injury.
Yeah.
That's pretty tough.
All under 10 points. Yep. So what?
He's got
just
a tough
because
game
you
next
want
week.
to. This is coming from the same guy that said Eckler and McCaffrey on the same team is broken and unfair. I think that was your exact quote, Alex. Eckler and McCaffrey on the same team is broken and unfair.
He's had some time. Well, look at this, though. Just in time for the playoffs for Jordan. He's got a tough game next week against Baltimore, but then he's got New England, who's 13th, Denver for the final game of our regular season, who is the worst against the run fantasy. Then the first game of the playoffs, he's got Las Vegas, who's 9th. And then the second game would be Buffalo 11th. And then finish with Denver again.
So, he's got a lot of...
He certainly should be turning it on in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If he's going to, which I think he will, which is why we don't want him. So meanwhile, Butker over here, we're looking at your team. Dave, how does it feel? You scored over 100.
Man, it felt really good. I will say, I don't even care if I lose or win, lose, draw. Like I'm very happy with my team. Like get scrapping together. And even with Goff playing like trash this week, where I was like really bummed. I'm like, man, I pick up Jared Goff. He's been playing super well. And this is he throws like 3 interceptions. Just not very good at all. Oh, yeah. Mahomes just threw a pick.
Hey, it goes back and forth. The Philly D works out a trade for Kara's team there.
Man, and it's good because it was going to going to be a touchdown for not Kelsey.
So basically, each team got a touchdown, and then each team threw an interception.
Yep, that was a really bad pick too. Mahomes literally he's been eyeballing that 84, whoever Watson. And the defense kind of figured it out.
I am loving that halfway through the second quarter, Kelsey is not even registering on the stats.
Yeah, and this is the whole thing was like Taylor Swift's there.
Is she actually there?
Yeah.
She flew up from the hill, huh?
Kara said something. She's like, yeah, she's there. So Travis Kelce's gonna be good.
But at the same time, there's only been 6 passing attempts by Mahomes so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been running a lot.
They've run it 9 times.
Yeah.
So it's still early. That's what I'm talking about. And I know Alex says I'm grasping at straws. But look at this. In total, the Chiefs have had 15 plays? 18 plays? Like in the second half, all of a sudden you're up to like 50 plays.
Yeah.
So it does make a difference. Of note here, the skid of sub 100 games will officially end as a tie with Todd's 2018 team, 7 in a row. You didn't break a record there.
It's a bummer.
It is a bit of a bummer, honestly. I've got a lot written down for this game. Let me see here. Butker has 5 times this year scored enough to get you this win. Let's see if that happens. Possibly, I put in a question mark here. Could we see a fake field goal turn into a touchdown run by Butker?
Rarely, because
Andy Reid is one of those guys that will do the trick plays, though.
No, I'm not worried about the trick play. I'm worried because the snap will go to most likely it's going to go to the holding man, usually the punter, and then the punter will throw it to like a tight end. There is a possibility he would flip it back to Butker and Butker would like run it in. I doubt it.
I don't think it's going to happen. I just thought it'd be a great way.
It'd be hilarious. I would love it. It'd be like, man, he'd get a touchdown.
I did do some calculating here. Without St. Brown, the Creamers would have 112 points. But without the Eckler trade, they'd probably be back up to 125. So the trade more or less nullified each other and put him in the same score he would have had if he wouldn't have traded. The Punishers break 100, blah, blah, blah. They're looking for their second highest score of the year here, too. If you went all off, you could get your highest score, but you're probably looking at your second highest score of the year here.
Doesn't help when the Chiefs are throwing picks in the
It doesn't. But it's still early. Could be a tricky. Well, you keep bringing up the rain, man. It's like they're all melting out there or something.
Dude, it's not even raining barely. It's not. Rain does not affect that much, Alex. There have been field goals scored in the rain. It just means that, yes, there's probably not going to be some record-breaking 65-yard field goal being scored today. But it's not like I'm watching the game right now, the stream, and it doesn't even look like it's raining anymore.
To be fair, from above, it almost never looks like it's raining. It's when they take the shots that looks like it's raining. But we'll let weatherman Alex get on us here. If you win, Dave, you move up to 4-7. You'll still be in 7th, but you would only be in 7th via a tiebreaker loss to Jordan. So you'd be very much in the playoff game.
It does. This is the guy who just started watching football like 5 years ago. Just started playing fantasy football like 3 years ago. Sweet. I remember in college, Alex was just like, you know what? I like Aaron Rodgers, but didn't know anything about anything else.
I liked Aaron Rodgers back then too.
Yeah, me too.
If the Creamers win, they go up your prescription, Dave. Whoa, a lot of hate coming here. A lot of hate. If the Creamers win, they move to 5-6. They would pass Josh for the 5th seed. A loss at 4-7 puts them at no change but the risk. If the Creamers win, the Giraffes would have to win out with the Creamers losing out and make up 90 points on them in order to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, it'd be tough. It's
gonna be
tough.
It wouldn't be mathematically eliminated, but it would be.
I mean, there's 3 games after this, right? 3 regular season games?
3 games left. So she would need to win all 3. Jordan would have to lose all 3, and she'd have to pass the 90-point deficit she's at by him.
Yeah.
But if you win, it keeps her within the realm of possibility of getting in there. I also had some thoughts here. I guess I wrote it on the next page and I didn't turn it here. But when it comes to the seeding implications for the game, that Alex is pretty confident doesn't matter anyways. If the fantasy team wins, they'll move up to 8-3 and gain some points slightly on the Hurricane Force wins. That would get them a possibility at a top seed if there's one more win with a Hurricane loss. A loss at 7-4 keeps them second over the Nincompoops because of the tiebreaker, but it would need to have a pretty much epic collapse by the Hurricanes at the end in order to take the first seed. So if the Hurricanes win, they're 9-3 and they're in total control of the top seed and looking to lock that up. But if they lose, they could mathematically fall as far as the 6th seed. Not going to happen, but could.
Yeah.
If they lose and Jordan wins, they could potentially fall back as far as the 6th seed, but not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
No. I don't see him falling out of a bye, honestly. But let's talk about the other big trade that went down. Well, there was 2 other trades.
So there are 2 other trades that went down other than the Eckler trade.
We had the biggest one, which was the Bulldogs trading a 7th-round pick to the Punishers for Lamar Jackson. Which I was not a fan of, but this week it certainly would have been a good choice.
Yeah, I know you weren't a fan. I mean, I get a little bit of an advantage because I'm sitting there like prodding my dad like right there in Kentucky, like saying, hey, do you want to do this? It's the trade deadline. And we talked it. I gave him full options. I said, hey, these are the guys on the man, he is sorry, I'm just pausing here. I don't know what it is about this Watson kid that I've never heard of before on the Chiefs, but Mahomes is just dialed into that kid. He continually targets him.
How did the Chiefs get the ball back already? The Eagles with 3-0.
Yeah, it was 2 sacks, man. It's rough.
So he's losing yardage.
He doesn't lose points for sacks anymore, I'm assuming, correct?
Well, Watson looks like he's probably a tight end since he's number 84.
It's probably that rain, you know.
Travis Kelce finally registered a reception. That's 1 point. Whew.
Free play. Oh, Kelce.
Did he get him?
No, he's got a free play on it.
Let me guess, he slipped because of the rain.
Yeah, he slipped because of the rain and probably because of the rain.
I tell you what, Keenan Allen couldn't catch the ball against the Packers. Dropped it twice in the end zone.
So yeah, there was an offside, so it was a free play. So he was like,
I think that they should always let offsides be a free play. You should never stop the play because of an offsides.
They
should.
But the problem is that every ref is kind of different. They need to be.
No, it should just be the rule. The rule should be if there's offsides, you let the play happen, and then they can decide whether or not.
Kelsey had some alligator arms there. Needs to stretch out a little bit more. Not this.
We'll see. I never watched so closely on one game. I usually just kind of check in every 20 or 30 minutes on it. So this is very stressful.
It is. Isaiah Pacheco, just nice long run. Anyway, yeah, so I'm sitting there talking to him. I was arguing the different things like, hey, there's these guys. And obviously my dad is not going to pick up Dobbs. He hates the Vikings. And he doesn't believe in Josh Dobbs, which I don't think anyone should believe in Josh Dobbs. He's a flash in the pan. He's basically Case Keenum from 2018.
Case Keenum had a good year.
He had one decent year. I really just don't think.
I'm not saying make Dobbs a keeper. I'm just saying he's a potential pickup.
Yeah, I think he's. There's a hold. Mahomes is going to get sacked. I guess maybe. I kind of want them to kick a field goal here. But yeah, so we went through different options. He wanted Lamar. I said 7th round. That's pretty good. I got him in like the 6th or 5th or something. So obviously a drop. And I kind of argued, we're arguing with the fact that he still has a bye in week 13. So Lamar Jackson has 2 games in the regular season to play. So that's it. 2 regular season games.
That's true.
So he's basically a playoff quarterback if he makes it. So, which I think he will.
He'll make playoffs, yeah. And then the other big one, which the masses had some sway against, was the Fergal sending St. Brown to the White Lightnings for a 2nd round pick. Now, initially,
it was a 4th round.
It was a 4th round pick that was being sent. And the masses went crazy.
Yeah, it was, Were
you expecting that when you dropped it?
I expected some backlash. I expected you to push back and definitely Alex to push back. Josh claiming collusion, actually, in retrospect, should have been unexpected because he basically does that anytime anything weird happens. But I wasn't expecting like the full-on waterfall of haterade to fall on my wife from both Alex and Josh. I really wasn't expecting the whole Alex saying he was hurt so badly. Although I didn't really hear that whole story. I came home for lunch and she's like, Alex wanted to trade me for Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm like, oh yeah, what'd you tell him? She's like, I told him no. I'm like, oh, okay. So I didn't hear the I don't trade, although that probably wouldn't. That was been her mantra all year. She didn't totally stab you in the back, Alex. No one's stabbing you in the back. She just didn't want to trade with you. Jesus.
It's just like the Packers don't want to trade to anyone in the NFC North.
Yeah, it'd be like, the Vikings reaching out and saying, hey, do you want to trade? We really want Aaron Jones or Devontae Adams. And then they said, nope, we don't want to trade Devontae Adams. But then the Raiders say, hey, we want Devontae Adams, and they trade with them. Nothing different. It's not stabbing the Vikings in the back. It's just business. You also didn't. I saw the text thread. You didn't offer her anything. She's not going to be able to feel like there's any value.
To my enemy. I mean, I don't think Jordan was your enemy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we can call Jordan your enemy. Jordan just offered some pretty I
was a little surprised at how she took the fourth.
But the thing I will say,
she worked harder initially.
yeah, I think the Debo pick was the 4th round. I know Jordan originally didn't want to trade a 2nd round, so I think with all the backlash that caused it did cause Jordan to sacrifice that 2nd. So I mean, in essence, it worked.
I think very much so. And at the end of the day, actually, 50% of the league vetoed the trade.
4 people vetoed.
We don't really know what Todd's opinions were.
Yeah, I mean, assuming he didn't care too much. I didn't try to persuade her because I didn't want to harass her. LOL. You use LOL very interestingly, Alex. You use them very like a Gen Xer. Just as a period, exclamation point onto a sentence. LOL. Did you actually laugh out loud, Alex, when you said that? Man, Isaiah Pacheco is getting the work in today.
It's a rushing game because of all this rain.
Yeah, it's all that rain. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, all that backlash ended up helping her in the long run because she did end up getting a 2nd round out of the whole deal. So
I think at the end of the day, and I wasn't, I obviously didn't want him to get a better player.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I thought that the 2nd round pick was fair for it. It was a pretty big investment on his part for a big reward he was getting for it. The 4th round was way too easy.
I'm kind of surprised at the Debo being thrown in there. I still don't understand why even the 2nd round Debo was in there.
Probably just so she had a receiver.
Yeah, but she has receivers. Oh, Kelsey just scored a touchdown.
Woo! No flags.
And it was about 10 yards, so I'm assuming it was about 7 points. So you just got about 7 points. No flags, 4-yard reception. So
I'll take that. Now we need Hurts to do something. He's going to be the main driving force here. I can't be having him get a 0.
I got a point. I got a point there.
Here's the good news, though. There's only 1:45 left in the half, so the Eagles are not going to be able to dink around running. They only have 1 timeout. They're going to have to throw some balls.
He's sweating, Alex. He's about 12 points behind. 12 points behind. That's all Kelsey has to do is catch like 4 passes for like some good yardage, and your game's over.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that. Let's look ahead to next week now.
Yeah, kind of weird.
I got to say, I think the trading was insane how much went on this year, and definitely Showman Dave over here whipping up a fervor. I think you would have done well in the 1800s as a revivalist minister.
Glory.
Or a medicine salesman. This is gonna do it, man. You gotta get it. If you don't want this, then this one will work. I got genuine snake skin from the Rocky Mountains. You've never been there, but they are
snake oil, baby.
Snake oil. But it was living. I really think I don't know if you're still into WWE as much anymore. I don't hear about it as much, but I think your days there really helped set you up.
Yeah, a little bit of a promo.
I don't know if you were like in the high end, like running for 1st, 2nd, 3rd seed right now, if you would have been as invested in trying to whip up a trade fervor. But
I mean, I think definitely I'm on the outside looking in. Definitely want to see somebody compete with Alex and you. Because I really don't think that Josh or my dad have any sort of opportunity to even give you a run for your money.
I mean, any game could go anyway.
Yeah, it's any given Sunday. So any game, like you could just have a bad game and lose it all, and all of a sudden Raheem Mostert scores another 35 points. But I had this interesting conversation with Jordan this weekend, and I was just like, it's kind of weird because it's like I have my team when it scores optimally is what you and Alex basically score when your team is like in the low end, it wasn't a very good game. Like when my players have 14-point games, it's like, oh man, they're just like crushing it. Oh yeah. When your guys have 14-point games, you're like, could have done a little better.
That's drafting, baby. That's drafting research.
Like my team is like really struggling to score.
Hey, I've been there. I mean, last year, obviously, I scored like insane amount of points, but the year before that, or 2 years before that, I finished 8th in the league. And I know how bad it sucks to be just racking your brain in the waivers to find anybody who will give you more than like 6 points for a projection. And it just sucks to be in that position. I can tell you that. I guess there are two words, I guess, that got thrown out in the heat of everything going on that I just wanted to highlight. First of all, I don't know who said it, I don't remember, but I am honored to have been considered an oligarch of the league.
I think that was Jordan. That was good.
I'll take that as a compliment to be considered an oligarch. And then second of all, most people didn't get to hear this. This was behind closed doors with Dave. But Jordan, if you watch this, apparently your trade was the equivalent of a phallic part of a whale.
Oh, yeah. You guys missed Chuck and I texting. Yeah.
I said that Dave was like an old man just trying to see the white whale one last time. And he said I was trying to cut that white whale's private parts off in front of him.
So the text was, you were like, I was talking about, oh no, Jalen Hurts just fumbled, but recovered.
Still counts as a fumble though, right?
I think you lose like a half a point. Not sure.
That's the rain.
Their offensive line just is not blocking any single defender from the Chiefs. It's insane.
They're gonna have to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Yeah. So Chuck had said something about, I'm like, me talking about trades was like an old man trying to see the, like, looking wistfully out into the distance, looking for that white whale before he dies. And I said, yeah, Chuck, and you're the other old man who kills the white whale in front of me because the white whale has a bigger penis than you do.
That's right. I didn't cut it off. I just had a bigger one.
Unless the other team recovers the fumble, maybe.
That was a fair assessment on both ends, though. So, all right, let's look ahead at next week.
Yeah.
A little bit early. Obviously, nobody's lineups are fully set, but there are no buys next week. So everybody's teams will be at full power for what they can do. Here we go.
Yeah, let's look. You know what? Let's just start with the nincompoops versus the giraffes.
It's going to be you're going to be looking at a 7-win team against a 2-win team.
Yeah. You know, I'm looking like she's going to put in
very high usually.
She's going to put in Debo for sure.
That'll be 10 points there. Apparently that would put her over him in the projections.
Yeah, that would put her over him. And let's see, is he going to be able to
I love how he keeps his IR person on the bench instead of in the IR slot.
Did he have David Montgomery on the bench this week again?
He must have.
Man, that's very surprising.
What did Montgomery score? He scored 16.
Yeah, I know. He played well.
Going against Green Bay, even though Green Bay held up well against Eckler, they're just not known as a running defense.
I wouldn't. I would definitely. Jefferson.
I mean, I don't know who he takes out. Josh Jacobs or Swift. I don't know.
Apparently, Jefferson is a possibility. They had talked about him coming back. Oh, no, he did come back, and he came back. Oh, no. Never mind. Sorry. Yeah, week 12. They are talking. It is a Monday night game, so it is possible that he might be able to come back this week. So you could see him putting Jefferson in.
But it's also very possible they hold him out, go into the bye, and then come back in week 14 with him.
Yeah, that is true.
So, yeah, this looks like it could be a very close game. I mean, obviously the Fergals have a tendency to not put up the points, but they would have put up some points this week. She would have broken 100 this week if she had a full team. And again, the nincompoops don't generally score very high. They just happen to win. So it could, I mean, if there's going to be an upset here, I don't know. This is a tough one to pick. And I guess I don't yet.
You don't have to pick quite yet. Obviously,
I will make sure I do pick before Thursday at 11:30 this week.
I am going to say
30 is when the first game, or was it 12:30?
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna probably do the cutoff just because of the busyness of Thanksgiving. I guess I'll allow it, but most likely the cutoff will probably happen Wednesday night.
Yeah, it's got to be Wednesday night. I'm saying you can't allow 3 games to happen and then change the picks.
Ooh, that water's causing that number 84 Watson to not be able to catch the football. So
do the Chiefs have the ball back again?
Yeah.
What the heck, Eagles?
Yeah, they're struggling. Yeah,
the score doesn't reflect how one-sided this game is feeling.
Yeah. You really got to go to – they're going to have to go to Kelsey if they want to make any – really, the offense has not really – his passing game does not –
Stop going to Watson.
Yeah, I don't understand why he's so favored right now. I'm sure they're double covering Kelsey right now. Guaranteed.
Oh, yeah. Well, I will update my pick, but right now I think I would go with Sam just because he keeps finding a way to win. And I don't know how motivated Kara is to not just lose. Not saying she's going to tank and bench people, but I don't know how.
She's definitely not motivated to win. If you've heard the conversations within our house.
I mean, all she's got right now is the first pick next year. I mean, technically she could still make the playoffs, but it's a long shot.
If you've heard any of the conversations within our house,
Are the Chiefs going to take a last-minute field goal here, Dave?
I was kind of hoping for it. They're getting close. They're on the 30-yard line.
It says 2 seconds left in the half. I assume they'd take the points.
Yeah, 2 seconds left in the half. Okay,
That's
must
what
be.
I have.
I'm at 17 seconds. So.
Okay. She's looking forward to next year, huh?
Yeah, so it's definitely she's definitely not trying to win, and in fact, she's kind of, once I told her that she had left a guy out, she was kind of okay with it, even though it really wouldn't have helped. Because she's just I don't necessarily want to
lose that pick.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could end up being one. It could be one. Oh, there you go. You got some points there, Dave.
Woohoo! There we go. Getting up there. This could be a second half game, man.
I think absolutely. Hurts is not going to end the game with 1 point.
Oh, no. And especially if the Chiefs start
Butker's got 7. Oh, you're lucky because the PAT's yardage counts.
Does it really?
So that's why he counts as 50. That's why he's got all that yardage there.
See, I don't know if I
think, right?
I don't think so.
Well, maybe not, because 43 yards, it probably was a 43-yard field goal.
Yeah, it's a 43-yard attempt.
He's up to 7 points, though. You are right there, man. You need
So wait, 43. So 43-yard field goal is worth 5 points. That's nonsense.
It's all yardage.
That's nonsense.
5.18.
I don't know about that. I think we need to re-look at that.
That could be an off-season debate. Welcome to halftime. We'll finish looking up. He could end up the game with negative points because of this rain. He could. He could slide backwards. Let's see. They're going to come out and make some adjustments at half.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. What's the next game?
All right. Let's look at Kentucky Creamers versus my fantasy team.
That's going to be a big one here.
Yeah. Now, Jordan is officially on the projection to win by quite a bit right now. Oh,
he's going to be projected to win, hands down.
Yeah.
With that line. There's no way I'm going to be able to top his projections.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a problem here, though. I obviously need to put Kamara back in, but I don't know that I can. I think I'd have to take Robinson out being against Dallas.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a tough day for.
And hope that Henry really goes off against the Carolina. Because I don't know, keeping Dell in against Jacksonville, it depends on what Jacksonville shows up, but he's been pretty hot. But even though Henry has gone down, Hopkins has been proving to be a bit of a favorite target for Levis. Got 5, 9, and 11 targets in the last 3 games.
You wanna? Do you just want to kind of like round out? Oh, never mind. Yeah, Hopkins is good,
but I can't take out Allen and Nakua for him. So
yeah,
I don't know that I'd take Dell out. So I think putting Kamara in will up my projection by 5.
Mm-hmm.
Bring me to 106, but yeah, I'm not going to be able to get his projection there. He's going against. He's got the Miami defense against the Jets starting Tim Boyle. Oh God, that's not great for me.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. Obviously, you're gonna move your defense. I'm assuming you're changing that defense.
Yeah, I won't be starting Washington against Dallas, so I'll get a few more points there. I'll probably end up with around like a 109 projection or something, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping that he gets through. If I can sneak out a win today, and I can even dropping that one, I then have you and Kara to finish up the year.
Mm-hmm.
Which, not that any game is a for sure thing, but I like those odds.
Yeah.
Going into it. Meanwhile, Alex still has to play Jordan and he has to play Todd.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Right now, I probably would have to pick myself. I would bet on myself.
That's interesting.
I think Jordan has the higher power, but you know what? His team doesn't gel. You get all these all-stars who are all me first, you know?
I think I'm going to just have to go with Jordan. I really do think his team is going to go off. And
I wouldn't be shocked if I lose this one, but we'll see. If I'm lucky this week, I may finally top 130.
Yeah, you never know.
We will see.
You never know. Next one, we'll go with the Battle of Mediocrity, which is the
5-5-5-5
right now.
Well, it will be 6-5 and 5-6.
Yes.
When they play each other next week, which is still pretty middle of the road.
Yep.
Kind of teams here. So 99.99. They couldn't just give him that extra 0.01 to be projected 100, could they?
Nope. 99.
Not handing out points for free here.
No.
I don't know that Jacksonville's a great defense to start against Houston.
No, I don't think so, and that'll change. And
Mostert and Akane are going to have a hard time running against the Jets.
And I really don't think Akane is gonna play. No.
Either way, whoever he starts is going to have a hard time running on the Jets.
Yeah.
And Walker against San Francisco, that's going to be a tough one too. And he's got a tough matchups.
Yeah, I don't put a lot of faith in the matchups, but he does have a lot of tough matchups.
And we don't. Is Cup going to be back?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's going to also be a Thursday game.
Yeah.
Monday, that Cup has a chance to play in Sunday's game.
No, their game is on Sunday.
Oh, their game is on Sunday. Oh, they're at Arizona. For some reason, I thought I said.
Well, there's a Friday game. I forgot all about the Friday game this week. We have our first Black Friday games.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of weird.
Well, they got to take advantage of all that. I mean, there's been this whole day where people are still off and waiting to do stuff, and there's no game for them to watch.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no high school football going on anymore.
No, I mean.
Meanwhile, the Blue Golds, is he going to start Stratford?
I don't think so, because most likely he will have Lamar Jackson at that
Oh,
point.
yeah, he'll start Jackson.
Chargers.
Yeah, I think Dallas D is going to do pretty well. I mean, I don't think it's going to be near as close as this projection states right now. I would go with the Blue Golds all the way. I think Josh is going to really slide into these playoffs. And
yeah, I don't know, man. I think there's a possibility. Now, granted, we're going to talk about it, but I have a really tough matchup this week. But I truly believe that I think Josh has a small chance to not make the playoffs. If I win today, now
it'd be hard.
If I win today and Josh,
to beat Jordan.
Time to say A-Chan, I dial A-Kane. I-Chan. I don't know, man. I heard somebody saying A-Chan. I've heard people saying A-Can.
I like how apparently capital A and 2 lowercase y's is supposed to sound different than capital A and 2 capital Y's.
Yeah, what's the difference? I-Kane or I-Chan?
Send us a voice clip.
Man, can I just say I love the Texan helmets where they're metallic red.
Oh, is that what their alternate was?
Yeah. I don't know if that's an alternate or if that's like those are so good. I love Washington's the all black. Washington's all black too.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You know what's really sucky though is like when they do throwbacks for Washington, there's like a whole like decades worth of history of throwback jerseys that they can't even touch anymore.
They could go back and use the little spear, but I don't think they could do anything that even remotely brings back the name. So
Alex just sent Alex sent a soundbite saying we are saying A-Kane, but it's A-Chan.
A-Chan.
I think it's still up for debate, man. I'd like to see a dictionary spelling. But
Monday night game where he says his own name. So anyway, you were talking about him falling out of the playoffs. He's going to be 5-6. If you win, Jordan would also be 4-7, which would put even more buffering between him and falling out. So I mean, it's possible. It's possible.
The thing is, Josh is trending downwards. Jordan is kind of trending upwards. Josh is
you would need to
really
top him
trending downwards
in 2 games here, but yes, he's definitely trending downwards.
So there is a small possibility that I make the playoffs and the Supreme Chancellor is sitting on the outside looking in. Small possibility.
He's sitting there looking at the rule book. I just hope you win to stay in this because if you lose, it's effectively over, and that's very boring for the last 3 weeks.
Well, it is what it is.
Oh, it is what it is. All right, there's one game left?
That's mine. The Punishers versus the Hurricane Force Winds. So this is going to be a very, 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 very difficult game for me. Yeah. I need a lot to go wrong on Alex and a lot to go right by me.
He's already slotted in Laporta. He is on top of the stuff.
Yeah, he's got Laporta in. Like I have a few options. Do I take out for some reason Cortland Sutton? Oh, because he's playing Cleveland, which is like gives up the least points to wide receivers. But Cortland Sutton has like only 6.5 points projected versus Olave's 11 points basically. I'll probably switch Olave and Garrett Wilson.
I'm telling you, man, Wilson is going to show some stuff with Boyle.
I can't tell if you're like just joking or not.
Didn't you see Boyle play in the Packers preseason games?
I mean, we all were like, yeah, him over Love. I remember those conversations.
No, people want Clifford in over Love, but Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. I don't, there's no way I'm not going to pick the Hurricanes to win this one.
Yeah, I mean,
you'll have a hard time getting your projection within 20 points of him.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough.
And he's probably going to score 135 again.
Yeah, it's.
So hopefully
we're going to have
next week. We're looking at me and Alex at 9 wins each.
I'm kind of hoping that the Dallas Cowboys have a little bit of their
one of their meltdown games,
primetime meltdowns. It'll be home.
They're due one. The Cowboys have not had a meltdown.
Dak Prescott has his classic 5-pick game. CeeDee Lamb doesn't even catch a stinking football, and he has a 30-point shortage. But I doubt it. It's Washington. They stink. So
yeah, but I mean, they haven't melted down since October 8th against the 49ers. And then they did it in the 24th. Remember, they lost to the Cardinals 28-16.
Yeah.
So they're due. They're due. Mike McCarthy likes to throw those in.
118. I'm 4 points short of winning this game. I literally need Harrison Butker to score another 40-plus yard field goal, and I have this game.
You don't even need that. You just need close to that. You'll get it. They're going to get another field goal.
So I'm going to unofficially mark Todd as a winner this week because I think Kara.
Todd's a winner for sure. Yeah.
But if I were to win and you win, that puts Alex at 2-2 this week. 2-2. You only picked one correct, 1-3. So that loses you a little ground. Josh would then have only picked two correct. So he'd go 2-2. So Josh would gain a little ground on you. And Alex gains a little ground on you. So that does not affect me too much. I did not even pick myself. I picked Sam to win, and I picked you to win, so I'd go 2-2, so nothing would really change in that sense.
All right.
Yeah, and the second half's about to start here for the Chiefs game. I mean, I'm probably a little behind because I'm streaming so. But yeah, it's been.
We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Have a Thanksgiving coming up. We'll get to watch a lot of games.
Yeah, a lot of early games. So a lot of our games may already be somewhat decided, or at least a clear picture.
And we'll have 4 games in by Sunday. So, is it a big Monday night game? Who's Monday night next week?
Bears versus Vikings.
So it's not going to be a huge decider.
Not a huge game.
What about Sunday night?
Not 100% sure on that. Let's see.
Sunday night is Ravens Chargers. That'll have some names.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, I sure hope that we avoid the injury luck that we had this last week.
Yeah, that's no good, man. That's tough.
Especially with these playoffs right around the corner. I know last year going into the playoffs, Hurts went down, and I had spot start Trevor Lawrence for several weeks.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
After I traded you a quarterback, that was my
Joe Burrow. You gave me Joe Burrow.
Gave you Joe Burrow.
Hey, you got a 5th rounder out of that though. That's a pretty good.
It was a 7th rounder, not a 5th.
Was it a 7th? Yeah, it was 7th.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, no, it was fair. It was absolutely fair. And both of us got players who were actually working to help us at the time.
So would you just to talk a little bit about trades, because I know we need to clear the air on this. Obviously, everyone knows my view on trades, which is I like them. Are you a one who wishes you could see more trades, or is it more of
I would like to see more trades that involve teams that have more players than they need.
So much fantasy stress last year. Your wife is actually obviously tuning in tonight, and she talked about it.
There was a lot of stress last year going into the playoffs. She remembers it.
Yeah.
And she's excited for me to be a top seed team this year so that I can be stressed again about it.
Jalen Hurts is really struggling, man. He just got sacked again.
Well, we'll see. I would like to see trades where I've got like Jordan mentioned, I've got so many running backs, I don't know what to do with them, but I'm down on this one position. You have that position I need, but you need a running back. Let's make a trade, and we each got better. That's what I want to see. Now, if you're throwing a pick with it, fine. But all this, like, everybody's going to start looking forward to next year. We're just tossing picks around and jumping. It's like, come on. All you're doing is just trying to reshuffle the deck at the end, which, I mean, it's drama, but it just feels artificial to me.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what we're imitating what the NFL truly does.
We are. I mean, like last year, McCaffrey popped over to the 49ers.
So you're looking, like Kara and I were both looking at players that we can't keep. They aren't doing anything for us right now, and we're trying to get some value out of them while they're still valuable.
No, I mean, I'm talking this as a person who's looking at the competition for coming ahead.
Yeah.
If I were sitting down at the bottom and all I have left is really trying to prepare for next year, then that's different. So I'm sure it depends on where I'm at the time.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not against trades. I'm not going to be giving high round picks up anytime soon for anybody. But
no, but there are some, and I mean, I think somebody like Jordan, who's in the 6th seed right now or 5th seed, and
yeah, I mean, obviously, I would love the most to win a championship again and join that very elite group of consecutive championship winners, which right now is just Dave and Sam. But at the same time, if that doesn't happen, I would very much be okay with watching Jordan finish 4th and not have a 2nd or 3rd round pick next year. That would give me much joy.
If he finishes, honestly, him finishing like 5th or 6th is the best case scenario for Kara and I. So it's legit.
But if he finishes 4th, even 3rd, he finishes 3rd, he'll get the 6th pick, and then he won't pick again until what, 25?
Yeah. 27? I mean, maybe he makes some trades to
trade deadline gone.
What?
Trade deadline.
No, I'm saying but you can make trade like that cuts off after the offseason. So
once the championship game is over, we can just start dealing.
Yeah, trades. I was kind of curious. I was thinking about this myself. Could you trade your keeper for draft picks? Like,
I mean, why would the person want your keeper specifically?
Because he's a good keeper, and I'm willing to just like fresh start draft.
So you're saying like, okay, it's the off season. I would like this guy for a draft pick because I want to make him my keeper.
Yeah, let's just pretend like I have.
That'd be an awful lot to give up though, because you're trading a draft pick to get him, and then giving up that upper draft pick above that round to keep him.
Yeah, or you could give up multiple draft picks, so 2 lower round draft picks. Like, be like, well, this guy's technically like. His value is 2nd round. So I'll give you, like, I have 2 thirds. So maybe I'll trade Jordan's 3rd and a 4th and my 4th for, whoever.
I just don't think that there's not a player out there who is so undeniably influential that they're worth trading away picks before the season even starts.
Agreed.
I don't think. Well, maybe you look at like Kara or you are sitting on 2 2nd round picks and 2 3rd round picks. Maybe then it becomes you're playing with house money at that point. I'll kick off that 2nd round pick that I wouldn't have had anyway, take a really good player, and then I don't have to wait for him to fall to me in the draft. I just have him.
Well, I mean,
and then from a commission standpoint, but what happened? Okay, so let's say I picked up, let's say my keeper or whatever was the 10th round pick last year. And now you trade your 2nd round pick for him and you make him your keeper. Does he take the place of your 1st round pick? Does he take the place of the 9th round pick? Because that's what I would have had to do. Does he take the place of the 14th because he was a pickup, not your own draft?
He takes the place of the pick that you traded, I believe.
You think so?
Well, yeah, because that's the pick that now you have that extra player. That would be the pick.
So, like, Jordan traded a 2nd round pick for St. Brown. So if he keeps St. Brown, it would be his 1st round pick next year? Not whatever pick Kara picked him up as?
It's a 1st round pick. So it'd be whatever you traded him for. That's my theory. So, like, if he wanted.
Well, we all know how much your theory aligns with Josh's.
That's true. Well, and I mean, does that mean he gets to keep Eckler as a 2nd round pick? I mean,
that'd be some pretty good value, but he doesn't have a 2nd round pick, so
he'd have to give up his 1st round pick.
Yeah,
but I mean,
but Eckler shouldn't even be keepable because he was a 1st round pick.
we're gonna probably.
Then you can start being like, oh man, this sucks. I'm gonna trade a 2nd round pick for a guy that was unkeepable to make him keepable.
Well, but that would be something that somebody would have to agree on. Yeah. If you're trading a 2nd round pick for a guy who's probably a 1st round pick, that may not be quite like.
Yeah, but in the middle of the season, why would I not take another 2nd round pick if I'm out of it? I don't know. Yeah. Interesting things. I'm sure we'll have all sorts of problems next year, and I'm sure we will wait until 10 minutes before the draft for Josh to jump on and say, what should we do in this situation?
Then there will be a lot of.
Even though I will send out a message about it 3 weeks in advance. Nobody will talk about it, and then we'll bring it up the night of the draft.
My assumption is because of the way our league is trended with keepers is there will probably be not a lot of those high round keepers kept. Like, I don't see Jordan trying to keep Eckler or Jordan trying to keep St. Brown. Because we all view our keepers in a value system. So it's like, what's their highest value? It's not necessarily what player do you really want to keep. It's what player is the highest value.
What player lets you get away with another high pick at a low pick?
So it's like, okay, well, we're going to be looking at these guys. It's like, why did I pick Dameon Pierce? It's like, why did Kara has been keeping Patrick Mahomes, even though I think this year Patrick Mahomes was a horrible keeper decision and she could have had ETN as a super cheap pick, and I'm not going to get into that anymore. But it's the Ryan Leaf.
I mean, it's too early, but he's probably looking at wanting to keep maybe Dobbins, Pacheco, maybe Hall.
I mean, that's why I think that's why she kept J.K. Dobbins on the. But is J.K. Dobbins going to be able to come back after having 2 major injuries? Like,
yeah, it'd be hard to keep her. Yeah,
like, is he going to be able to come back and play at a high level? Which I don't know if he would be able to. You hope so, but
I don't know.
Don't know.
Well, I think it's probably time to wrap it up.
Yeah, well, we got a little bit of game left. Quarter and
stay tuned in the game. We'll see if Hurts can get into positive points.
Quarter and a half a game left. It looks like Hurts is getting the ball back. So
let's hope he doesn't get sacked or fumble or throw an interception.
Let's see how much that rain affects the game.
Yeah.
So
I'm about to go take a shower. I hope I don't fall over.
Yeah, I mean that's a real problem. So
no problem indeed. Well, good luck to everybody next week except Jordan.
Yep. And Alex. Good luck to everybody except Alex. No Alex. I'm really hoping that
I'd love to see you knock off Jordan and Alex. That would be
my real hope is that the Cowboys go out late partying the night before and they get hit by a car lightly And Dak Prescott, and them have like maybe a couple week-long injuries that they just like are really dealing with. Like so, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott,
this nagging back pain, man. This nagging,
just dealing with some of that. So don't want them to get hurt real permanently. Just a little tap, tough love tap with an SUV. Just maybe some. You probably won't be playing Dak. Interesting. Against Washington. He's just scared.
Scared little man.
Go ahead, don't play Dak, man. Pick up Tim Boyle. I think he'll be good. He'll be solid.
All right. Have a great week.
See you guys. Thanks for showing up for those who did. Appreciate it. All right.